since it's another day, billions will kneel and pray. Anything to aid escape from the world so cold and gray.
That's a good boy.
And we're back here with another episode of Buns and Tubs. We're here with you on this beautiful Tuesday. Gonna give you all that good stuff.
You know you stole that, right?
What's that?
A Beautiful Tuesday. I heard it the other day and my head exploded.
Where was it from?
What's his name? Fucking, God damn it.
Have they been doing it longer than me?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Suck my balls.
I think you found it. I don't know if you watch him or not, but I watched it. I was like, what in the fuck?
I don't know if... Okay, so...
I meant to tell you that not on the air.
Fuck.
What the fuck is his name? God damn it.
I need to change my shit up then.
Fuck.
That's been my intro for a while now.
I'm trying to think now. I can't think of what his fucking name is. He's got a YouTube channel. He's got his own news show.
All right, well...
I just...
back to the fucking drawing board, I guess.
Back to the drawing board.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna say that I don't know about that.
Well, I don't fucking know his name, and apparently I can't find it. So.
Let's just say that I wasn't aware that somebody else already did that.
Why don't I just keep scrolling through YouTube until I find one of his things, and then I'll...
I mean, I was more or less doing it as a homage to, like, you know, old school fucking radio broadcasters and stuff like that. Like, welcome back, come on back down, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, that's...
I wasn't trying to say stole, but
no.
It just came out funny.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is this dude at?
Oh.
Philip DeFranco.
That does sound familiar.
Yeah. I
don't know if I've ever watched any of his videos, but I know a little bit about YouTube personalities.
Let's break it down real quick.
Okay.
You know, just to be the unprofessional podcast.
Yeah.
Got to go through a 5-second ad, of course, because that's what we do.
You beautiful bastards. Hope you had a fantastic Monday. Welcome back
Fuck!
to the Franco Show. And actually, a quick note. I was going to threaten you with a good old...
He starts all of his episodes like that.
Oh, man.
It's whatever, you know? You just touched down in the ether. We just got to find our own little fucking spin-off of it. I just didn't want it to continue, and then people would be like, they're fucking taking shit from other people.
As far as I'm concerned, this is like, what, episode
116, 17, I don't know, 120.
It's somewhere up there. So,
yeah.
like,
we've been getting it in for a while.
Yeah, you know.
As they say on the streets.
Well, this week, before we get to the topic, I mean, the topic this week is I've been pronouncing it NXIVM sex cult.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Don't you mean multi-level marketing personal development company?
Yeah. Apparently it's pronounced Nexium.
Sex cultum.
So, yeah.
Sex slavery.
Yeah.
White slavery.
That's going to be the topic this week, but I'm sure there's things that we're going to want to talk about before we get to that.
Yeah. I think it's funny, like you said, when you told me about Wikipedia, I looked on their page and I'm like, Jesus Christ. They do have the first paragraph. Nexium is an American multi-level marketing company based in Albany, New York that offered personal and professional development seminars through its Executive Success Program. The company has been described as a cult and a pyramid scheme and has also been alleged to be recruiting a platform for a secret society called DOS, or The Vow, in which women were branded and forced into sexual slavery.
So they give you a little taste of what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
But before we get started on that, I'm sure there's things we want to touch on that's gone on through the week. And, of course, the last and final Thrones Watch part of the podcast.
This is the part where I should tune out for 18 seconds, but I just don't give a fuck
anymore.
Well,
unfortunately, Craig Collins ruined that for you yesterday.
I know.
So, I mean...
Communist motherfucker.
But before we get started on that Thrones Watch, I'm going to say this. HBO, this is a message directly to you.
Fuck you.
Well, no, I'm not going to say fuck them.
Okay.
Fuck D&D, the writers. But that's a different story.
Yeah.
No, what I'm going to say is HBO, if you want to keep my subscription, like my money, you want to keep getting money from me, I'm going to make a suggestion to you. I don't want a fucking adaptation of His Dark Materials. I don't want even a weird, like, sequel to The Watchmen. I mean, I'd probably try to watch it, but I'm not saying
You'd just be
I would
disappointed.
like it. I'd probably be disappointed. You know what I want? I
damn it.
figured it out this morning. Exactly what I want from them.
Okay.
I want a fucking reboot of Tales from the Crypt.
Ooh, Look at you.
If they put that motherfucking Crypt Keeper back on there and give me a fucking weekly fucking anthologic episode where that creepy motherfucker starts the show and gives me a rundown and then fucking starts it and then ends it,
Yeah.
I'm on board still. I'll keep fucking paying you.
I'm not going to keep paying them.
Like I said, that's what they got to do.
Yeah, I get it.
So if they don't do it in the next like 3 or 4 months, probably going to unsubscribe. And then if I hear of anything coming out, I'll resubscribe.
I have to imagine they lost a shitload of subscribers as soon as that Game of Thrones is over with.
You know, if they would have produced a better episode or a better ending, people might have done it out of sheer
They
loyalty.
definitely ate shit from my opinion. I do get the argument that it's pro-anarchy because Jon Snow leaves the crown, says fuck authority, and goes to live among the free folk. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, FYI, warning. Skip ahead.
I already gave it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's why I said this is the part where I should tune out for however long.
That episode, I never thought of it like that with Jon Snow. I was so displeased with the episode that I didn't even think of the positive aspect that Jon Snow was going out to live amongst the free folk.
Yeah.
I just looked at what I thought was the culmination of like series writers who were just done doing the show. Mm-hmm. And apparently we're done doing the show 2-3 seasons ago. Because there was a whole lot of build up for a whole lot of nothing.
That was terrible build up for a shit ending. And not even just the last episode, but just different things in general. The Gold Company let me down.
Yeah.
It was just a waste.
So I was reading an article. I can't take claim for this thought about it. But someone who said they've been watching the show since the beginning. Mm-hmm. They started watching it when they were undergrad. And their major was international relations, right? Mm-hmm. And they went on to become a journalist and have wrote countless articles about the parallels in the early seasons of politics and Game of Thrones, right? And how it was one of the most in tune shows to be like show true politics as it were, right? Mm-hmm. But then he goes on to say, like, how is it that like at the end of the series you have all these different heads, these high lords of Westeros come together and they all agree to a system of government that's never been done before, and basically submitting to a new ruler based solely on an impassioned speech by Tyrion Lannister, who, on his own behalf, has said he has made terrible mistakes, and they know he has. Okay? And then, in his impassioned speech, convinces them to elect a person who virtually nobody at that seating knew except the Starks and Tyrion Lannister himself. Mm-hmm. By electing Bran the Broken.
So let me ask for a spoiler, because I don't know.
Okay.
Why is Bran the ruler?
Because Tyrion said that it was something to do with...
He doesn't have a penis that
Well,
works.
he said, well, here's what they're doing now. Instead of, like, it being the, like, born to an heir and done like that, it's whenever the king or queen dies... The High Lords come together and elect a new person.
I see.
And the fucked up part is Samuel Tarly, while they're talking about this, is like, well, if this is the king and queen of everybody, shouldn't everybody have a say? And they all just laughed. They're like, we can't let the small folk do what they want.
Samuel, you fat bitch. You beautiful bitch.
But it just, and like for all of them to finally to agree to that, like considering all the political strife and stuff that's happened over the seasons, for all these people who obviously aren't really like cool with each other, to be like, you know what, that's a good idea. And not only that, for Sansa Stark to be like, oh, and by the way, the North is its own kingdom. We're breaking up from the rest of you. And everyone's just like nodding their heads like, yep, sounds good. Yeah. And it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
You've spent fucking, like, listen, we have spent seasons, countless seasons on a show where, like, the breaking up of a fucking continent was just one of the, probably one of the biggest reasons why people were fighting in the show, let alone, like, you had all sorts of shit. You had fucking war started over Bran getting kicked out of a fucking tower.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
I just don't know why they didn't, notice all the things that happened and say fuck authority in general.
Yeah.
But they still want to be ruled and stepped upon.
And yeah, here's the thing. I'm not going to say 100% that it completely just like fucking shit out. There was one aspect of the show actually. Well, thinking about John, I don't think he deserved to go to the wall, back to the wall. Which the Night's Watch existing still doesn't make any sense, because the main reason for the Night's Watch to exist was to keep the Wildlings at bay and to stop the White Walkers. The White Walkers are dead, and the Wildlings get along with everybody now.
Everything is as it should be.
So they don't really have a reason to exist.
Right.
That being said, like, the only thing I liked was when Drogon tries to, like, resuscitate Dany's, like, nudges her and stuff, and he snarls at Jon, but then he fucking just, like, fire blasts the fucking Iron Throne and melts it.
He knew what time it is.
Yeah, because he was smart enough to know that it wasn't really Jon who killed her.
Mm.
It was the throne that did.
Yeah.
And I thought that was poignant.
Yeah.
But
absolute power corrupts absolutely.
this is the one thing I hope. I still have hope in my heart, because George R. R. Martin has 2 more books to put out, and they're supposedly done. Supposedly done. You see, here's the thing. There's manuscripts. So even if he dies, all they have to do is edit that shit.
Somebody can shit on it the way maybe HBO did.
But
I'm not an optimist, I
but
guess.
he's still alive. But here's the thing, though. The show was great. Everything about the show was great up until, like, don't get me wrong, the last 3 seasons, there's been moments that were good. But the first 5 seasons of that show were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was all canon. That was all stuff George R. R. Martin had wrote.
Right.
So that leads me to believe that the last 2, and I love the books. The books are great. There's aspects of the books that aren't even were never in the show.
I'm working through them right now.
So I have hope that he's going to end the series well on his terms.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing I predicted with somebody was that in our lifetime, we will see another adaptation of this source material.
I hope you're right.
We might be old when it happens, because the problem is you can't do it in the next 5, 10, 15 years, because all the people that played these characters are still alive.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, Kit Harington is always going to be Jon Snow to me.
Right.
Emilia Clarke's always going to be, Khaleesi. She's going to be Daenerys Stormborn, the last Targaryen, the last dragon, the unburnt.
The guy that played her brother is always going to be a useless piece of shit in my mind.
Yeah.
No matter what I see him in.
Exactly. So, like, those things, in the end of the day, a lot of people are like, man, this just ruins the whole series for me. And I'm in the group like, nah, man, there's a reason we stayed even through the shitty.
Mm-hmm.
Because the stuff in the first, 5, even the 6th season, were fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That being said, that's probably not the last time I'll ever talk about Game of Thrones. But in depth like that is the last time I'll probably ever get into it.
Yeah.
So,
it is known.
there you have it. I mean, it's not like this room is filled with Game of Thrones memorabilia. That's not going to change anything.
Well, you didn't come out here and go into an autistic rage and start breaking shit.
No. I kept it all.
Yeah.
Because I still like it. Even though I hated the ending.
Delicious milk.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess it is milk, but I feel it was like strong milk.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like a protein shake.
It's like if we're in Plato's cave analogy, we're looking at like super defined pictures that are cast from the fire. As we sit in our fucking slavery.
There is another silver lining to this show coming to an end, and me being disappointed with it, is the last time something came to an end and I was disappointed with it, I said, you know what? I could do better than that. And I wrote a book.
There you go.
So now my brain is the gears have started, they were slow turning for a while now. Now they're starting to fucking fast turn, and shit's starting to like gear up, because I'm like, I can fucking do this. And something needs to fill that fucking Game of Thrones sized hole in my fucking heart.
What's the book called? Where can people get it?
They could get it on Amazon. It's called The King's Fire. Book 1. Prophecy in Flame.
# fantasy written by people who aren't pedophiles.
I'm definitely not a pedophile.
Not a pedophile.
And you know what? I get George R. R. Martin's appeal, but he's very violent and sexy. My books aren't as sexy as his are.
Sexy.
And probably really not as violent either. They're more meant for people of many ages.
They hurt you in other ways.
Yeah. But if you want to go check it out, you can get it on Amazon, ebook, or you could buy a copy. If you asked me nice enough, I'd probably fucking sign one for you.
Yeah, look at him.
But, and then here soon, I've got another novella I'm planning on putting out as an ebook because I'm gonna, when it comes in a hard copy, it's gonna be 3 novellas in one.
Yeah.
But then, book 2 of The King's Fire is in the works. So, a lot of projects for me right now.
Stuff to keep your mind,
But if you want to, like, I'm not saying, like, it's Game of Thrones on par. I would never say that I'm as good as George R. R. Martin at what I do. But I firmly and fully believe I enjoyed writing the story so much that I have to believe that people enjoyed reading it.
Yeah.
I know you read it.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it.
And I know a lot of people have read it because I've seen how many books were sold.
Yeah.
But I know people enjoyed it. And I saw it's got great. Hey, I got like 5 stars right now on Amazon.
Thug Life.
Yeah.
So that's almost we're almost got as many stars on the podcast on iTunes. You can go over there and give us a review.
There you go. Hey, and that was the other thing. Like last week I noticed I Googled my name, right? Mm-hmm. And you know how like if you're a professional at something, a little bubble comes up in the corner?
Yeah.
I have an author bubble now. Like if you type in my author name, S. James Imhoff, it says author.
That's good.
So I'm an author.
Yeah.
Google said so. So I'm a goddamn author.
Google knows what we're going to do before we do it, so you have to take them at their word.
Exactly.
It is known.
It is. I don't want to say it anymore.
I know. Well, let's quit riding our own dick and get on to the topic.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
But they come here for that.
I'm
you know
just
what
trying
I mean?
I'm co-captaining the ship,
Yeah, they come here for that.
I want to listen to them ride their dicks for roughly an hour.
Did you want to go over, what's her nickname? I don't even know.
Battle Bun.
Battle Bun, there we go. War Rabbit. Or Battle Bun, however you want to put it.
I wish I was good at drawing, because I would make her into some sort of like, some badass like anime-style rabbit warrior.
Oh, yeah.
With a hair bun.
Like, with like a chest plate.
Yeah.
Fucking, like, rocking, I don't think she'd rock a sword. I think she'd be more like a mace or a morning star.
Man.
Hardcore.
Smashing
fucking braining motherfuckers.
Yeah. Guess what? Now you have to eat crowns the rest of your life because you got hit with a mace.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
She could also have those, what are those dual, like, small swords?
Yeah, I get you. Little stabbies.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
But she's a fucking warrior, so Battle Bun.
Yeah, Battle Bun. We're Roar Rabbit.
Yeah.
Oh, and before we got started on her topic, I wanted to say one more thing. Because it hits close to the home. I'd like to congratulate the doctor.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
On completing his undergraduate degree.
Yeah.
It's a big feat. And amongst our circle of friends, I think that's a really big accomplishment. And I'm proud of you, Dr. Doug Hurdy, for your accomplishments.
I sent him this message. I said, that's a nice liberal education there. Be a shame if someone completed it. And then I just did the creepy zoom in his face.
Yeah, that picture's off the fucking chain.
Yeah, your face is off the chain. I don't know, what are you thinking about? Murder? Is he thinking about murdering people? That's what that looks like.
But yeah, so he's a chemical engineer now. So congratulations to him.
Look out for future meth cooking charges or something.
Yeah, exactly. If you hear of a plant exploding or something, expect it to be him.
I remember
just joking.
One of our summer drunk summer science experiments, we're making smoke bombs.
I remember that.
And you had to, I forget what all we used, crazy ass chemicals.
Stump remover and sugar.
Yeah. And like,
sawdust.
We started doing it in his house, but it started putting off all this crazy shit that probably was going to kill us. And so we took it out to the chicken house and kept the crystals or threw the crystals away, whatever we threw away we needed.
Yeah.
And they ended up being pretty useless. But we also could have made explosives out of that.
Yeah.
I'm glad the feds weren't around, sniffing around at that time, because that would have been bad.
It's a dangerous world we live in now that he's a chemical engineer and he is also a proponent of Ted Kaczynski. I never put them, because we're not dangerous because we don't know any kind of shit. But now we have a chemical engineer who likes the words of Ted Kaczynski.
Yeah.
Which, that may or may not be a good thing. I don't know.
I mean, I support Ted Kaczynski.
Yeah, and also, on a side note, go check out Soph on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, Soph.
S-O-P-H.
Yeah, she's a fucking hardcore motherfucker.
She's a goddamn lunatic.
She throws that freaking word around like it's nobody's business.
Speaking of Ted Kaczynski, I'm pretty sure, shit she says and the shit a lot of other people say are really just rebranded Ted Kaczynski.
Right. Speaking of YouTube shout-outs, we missed our chance last week to do our first shout-out. We need to shout out the YouTube channel I'm Starving Bitch with
fuck yeah.
with Devin Crowley.
Yeah.
He gave us a fucking premium shout-out on his last video.
You need to go check out I'm Starving Bitch with Devin Crowley.
I'm Starving Bitch.
Yeah, say it like that.
Yeah, if you like to picture in your mind every cooking show you've ever seen, except better.
They're all garbage.
They're all shit.
Throw them all in the garbage.
Yeah, treat them the way that one angry chef from Hell's Kitchen treats everyone else.
Yeah, because we like watching people get belittled.
Yeah. You know, he's not going to belittle you, but he is going to get really drunk, and he's going to cook amazing food.
It's one of the best cooking shows I've ever seen.
It's the best.
The best. You're right.
Of all time.
100%. I'm Starving Bitch with Devin Crowley.
Get on board before everybody else does, and you can be like, Bones and Tubbs sent me.
Yeah.
You know?
Be like, hey, you're fucking hilarious.
I was working overtime around the Factory of Sadness and watching his episode about, I think it was tequila, where they made like nachos.
Yeah.
And he's shit-faced. There was beer and tequila. He's super drunk, and he's fucking speed chopping an onion. And I was like, whoa!
Yeah.
You're going to lose a finger, dog. But
supposedly, we're going to be on that show eventually.
Yeah. Get fucking dumb drunk and cook some shit.
What do you want our beverage to be?
I don't like your idea.
What's that? Oh, a gallon of Canadian Club?
Yeah. Whiskey turns me. I'll burn something down, probably.
I say, what about vodka cran? That's a little bit classier.
I could do that.
Like Platinum 7?
Mm-hmm.
The big old bottle of fucking cranberry.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Ice, you know?
Shut up.
Maybe a little lemon.
Stop. I don't know what we ended up cooking. I guarantee that I don't.
Wait, do you like meatloaf?
I fucking love meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
Okay. I'm gonna have to get an Uber there.
Yeah, for sure. We're both gonna be that or have a designated driver to fucking drive our asses home.
Right.
Because I ain't getting a DUI. Shout out to Inman though.
Shout out. Free my nigga. He's fucking going through it right now.
I bet he is.
Butler County Jail. If anybody wants to help Inman get out of jail, contact the Butler County Sheriff's Office and say free Drew Inman.
Yeah.
You know, because he's a victim. He's captive of the state
for a victimless crime.
Victimless crime. Yeah. And he has to do like 15 days. So call them and make their jobs a lot harder than they have to be.
Yeah. Because
fuck the state.
Exactly. So, Battle Buns question.
Yeah, I feel like we got super fucking autistic there for a minute.
Cool.
We hopped around everywhere. That was like a Picasso painting.
I liked it, though.
I know, I did too.
It's like a glitter bomb.
Her topic. I wish I had it pulled up here. I'm a fucking terrible podcaster.
Let me see. You actually sent me a screenshot of it.
Yeah, you're right. Fucking communist. About that time, eh, chaps?
Righto. How long ago did she send this to us?
It's been a little while. We're not very good at being like on the ball, but we do what we can. We love you just the same. Mm. It is known.
I feel like she definitely sent it to me before then.
I probably got it in my screenshots folder.
I'm like in a month from now.
Well, let's look together. Dun, 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 dun.
Maybe you sent me a message. Let me check.
Albums. Screenshots. Here we are.
Okay.
So, Battle Bun's topic. She's always been interested in the effects that tourism has on the environment and how much longer until we ruin the wonders of our world. Example, Mount Everest, Grand Canyon, the Great Barrier Reef, and the Great Wall of China.
Well, to help you answer your question, Battle Bun, there's actually a lot of stuff involving the amount of trash on Mount Everest.
Yeah, what did you call?
I think it's called the Rainbow Road.
Okay.
It's something like that, or the Rainbow Highway, something like that.
Something where it's a point of no return.
Yeah, they can't, see, the thing is, when you start getting up that high, the less shit you carry, the better. Mm-hmm. Because you have to, suck in oxygen and shit. So there's, oxygen tanks all over the fucking place.
Jackets from dead hikers.
Yeah, there's, people who have died up there, they can't take them back down. It's too much fucking weight to carry.
Yeah.
So they have to leave them there. And the color of it's like a pass. It might be called the Rainbow Pass, but it's just littered with bodies, and it's they're multicolored parkas everywhere.
I never did find that article too. There's an article that they mentioned on Joe Rogan's podcast a while ago about, I want to say it was Mount Everest, but it's or maybe it wasn't. It's a mountain that a lot of people go to and travel on, and they put up signs because so many hikers were pissing and shitting in putting it inside a crevice, like in a bag. And they said, like, when it thawed out in a certain season, it was just like a fetid puddle that, like, bled out of the mountain.
Could have been, I mean, I think of K2.
It might be K2.
Or Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
Something like
I
that.
tried to look it up. I couldn't find it for the life of me, though.
See, here's the thing. Like, in a way, I totally agree. Like, we need to, like, these natural wonders, we need to watch after them. But at the same time, like, I'm also dual with this because I'm like, it's in our nature. Like, we should never diminish our need for adventure, right? And those are the adventures.
Right.
Climbing Mount Everest is an adventure because a lot of people died trying to do it.
Yeah.
And, you know, canoeing down the fucking Grand Canyon is an adventure. You know what I mean? Like, I can't diminish people for wanting to fucking
Right.
to explore places that not many people have explored before.
I wonder, too, like, I don't know about the effect that they actually have. Like, I mean, Mount Everest, yes, you're littering with coats and fucking trash and shit.
Yeah.
But, like, does that really affect the mountain?
No, but at the same time, it you know, you got to be a conservationist. You know what I mean? You got to want to be able to, like,
Right.
keep its pristine beauty. But at the same time, like I said, I'm dual about it because I'm like, we want to keep these things clean, but I firmly and fully believe in the adventurous nature of human beings because that adventurous nature, you know, if you believe in it, is what got us past the atmosphere and into the stars. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, even if we haven't, we know there's satellites up there.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly. I think there's satellites up there. But the thing is, like, the places we've seen and traveled, if we didn't have that adventurous spirit, we probably would have died as a species.
Yeah.
Like, it was that adventure that made us, like, travel out and find new places and adapt and change and overcome adversity.
I also wonder, too, though, like, the limited scope that humanity has to look at things. Like, you know, they claim that the Egyptian time period was 3100 BC, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, some of the people who aren't part of the system, who are like fringe archaeologists, have pointed out things like the erosion on the Sphinx.
Yeah.
Pointing it, instead of 3100 BC, to more like 14 or 15,000 BC. Maybe the modern day, or, you know, air quotes, 3100 BC Egyptians just stumbled upon the pyramids.
Yeah, it's like, we should never question the curious nature and adventurous spirit of human beings because, like, if that were the case, we probably would still believe in a geocentric universe where the Earth is at the center of it.
I mean, a lot of people still believe that.
Yeah, but that's the problem, though, is that, like, you get, like, motherfuckers like Galileo lost fingers because he was like, nah, dog, it's heliocentric. The sun's in the center.
Right.
But, so I'm going to go ahead and say that, like, some things necessarily, like, even if there's conspiracy theories around it, I firmly fully believe the sun is at the center of our universe, or our solar system, I should say.
Yeah.
Because, like, this dude lost, like, limb, and life was threatened because of what he believed in.
I will never claim to be a flat earther, but I do like some of their arguments. B.O.B. did that one song where he was talking about, like, images that they send back from satellites that they shoot out millions of miles into space.
Yeah.
And somehow the pictures get back and like, we used a 1,000,000-mile internet. It's faster than anything we have on the planet, and we can't give it to you. But that's what we have. So keep giving us your tax dollars, you know, because we're just going to keep using them and keep making up these, taking these pictures. And, I mean, that's a good point. A lot of it's bullshit, I feel like.
Like,
but,
we've always
random.
But the thing is, like,
random rant.
Even with those people, even with the flat earthers and stuff, I've always said, question everything.
For sure. That's actually the name. It's in the name of the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the logo.
Question everything.
Everything. Even what we say, fuck what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Question it.
So if you think there's something that we've said that would be wrong or debunked, please let us know.
Yeah.
In even if it's like a matter of opinion, you know what I mean? But the problem is if it's objective or subjective,
yeah.
Then in reality, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, just eat a big old pyramid of dicks. Climb a rope ladder of flaccid cocks with your mouth.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like people at the Factory of Sadness in order to get promoted. But I digress. Back to the Great Barrier Reef.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of these reefs are dying off, and people are claiming it's because of the fact that Fukushima is still flooding the ocean with radioactive water.
I'm going to go ahead and believe that.
Yeah, that sounds pretty legit.
I've been watching fucking the miniseries Chernobyl.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. That shit was fucking crazy. Do you know it was releasing the nuclear equivalent of 2 Hiroshima bombs every hour while it was on fire?
Excellent. That's great.
Yeah. So, like, the amount of fucking nuclear material, I can't talk.
Nuclear. You hit it like George W. on that.
Nuclear.
Nuclear.
Nuclear material that was being spent up in the atmosphere was fucking catastrophic.
Yeah. Well, they said that the Fukushima, like, whatever it was in there, they got video of it. I don't know if it still exists because you know how they love scrubbing things
Yeah.
from YouTube. But there was, like, they had pictures of it from the outside, and there were, like, blue and purple arcs shooting up out of it. Mm-hmm. And they said that it melted through the concrete and went into the earth.
Yeah. That's what happens, like, when the shielding fails. Like, they're dealing with that. I think it's in episode 3 now. They're trying to figure out, because, like, I'm getting to this show, but basically they're at a point where they're trying to damp out the fire, right? But the problem is that there's water tanks underneath the core.
Oh, no.
And if it hits that fucking water, it'll instantly evaporate it and make a huge fucking explosion that'll basically wipe out Europe, like Eastern Europe.
Kaboom.
Like, they're talking about millions and millions of deaths. Well, obviously that didn't happen because we know. But they had to send 3 people in there to basically die to empty the water tanks so it wouldn't fucking explode.
It's crazy that that's like a footnote in history, but I'm still stressed out about Fukushima.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very stressed about it because of the fact that it's killing the barrier reefs. It's decimating the ocean populations. And then they turned off, they've got these sniffers that they've had in play in the United States in every city since the Cold War to detect a nuclear detonation or what kind of radioactive material is in the air, and they turned them off after Fukushima happened. And if you watch YouTube, there's videos of people going on the West Coast to different California beaches with Geiger counters, and they're off the fucking chain. Like, right now, people over there being radiated.
That's fucking crazy. You know, and the thing is, like, the shittiest part about it is like when you look at Chernobyl and Fukushima is that it puts a bad name on nuclear power. When in reality, nuclear power since Chernobyl and stuff and 3 Mile Island have become like super safe. And they're one of the cleanest forms of power that can be available as long as
nothing happens.
But the thing is that they're so safe now that firstly, Fukushima, you know why Fukushima happened?
Earthquake. They built it on a fucking fault line.
Yeah, they built the motherfucker. It's Japan, man.
For all the
they have hundreds
things,
of earthquakes a year.
For all the brilliant things the Japanese have done, what the fuck were you thinking?
Yeah. Could you maybe have put it in a place that had the least likelihood of fucking cracking open because of an earthquake?
You know what we ought to do? We ought to build the world's biggest nuclear reactor and put it on top of Yellowstone. That way, when Yellowstone fucking explodes, it'll be radioactive fiery ash gas.
That sounds like a plan.
Just another little autistic side note, but Battle Bun, if you would go to Google image search and look up Face of Mars, I wonder how long those human artifacts have existed. So long that we got the ability to take pictures of them, and then NASA had the ability to Photoshop over it.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
It's awesome, right?
That Face of Mars shit makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah. Makes your stomach hurt a little bit. Or the monolith on Phobos.
Oh my god. Or the fact that, like, that's another picture that I want. There's a perfectly rectangular hole in Mercury. That shit doesn't happen on the natural side of things.
All right. Let's get to the topic.
All right. Hope we did our topic a good justice.
Yeah. Okay, so we wanted to go over Nixium. Okay, so years ago, it was like this it was a marketing company.
Yeah.
And it was a company, like, you were supposed to come in and learn how to fucking be better at business, right?
Pyramid scheme.
Yeah, and they called it a pyramid scheme initially. But then, like, over the years, more, like, skeevy shit started coming out about it. Like, they started talking about, it's out now because these motherfuckers are in court fighting their cases. But there was, like, a secret group inside of Nixium called DOS, or it was also called The Vow, right? And it was this group of women who were treated like sex slaves.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing is like, come to find out that, like, multiple people, and we're talking about, like, apparently, like, Laura Saltzman, or not Laura Saltzman. She was one of the people in it. Claire Brofman, who was, like, the heir to Seagram's, was part of it, and she was harboring sex slaves. She didn't know. Apparently, she didn't know they were sex slaves.
Of course she didn't.
But it was like a multi-level organization where they were harboring fucking sex slaves.
If I was your attorney and you were under suspect of being a sex trafficker, I would tell you to say you didn't know what was going on either,
But
as your attorney.
it was started by a dude named Keith Rainier,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he had a
She was his second in command, right? Allison Mack?
no. It was Nancy Saltzman.
Oh, okay. So she was just an associate?
She was high. She got higher up in it. She was part of the whole like fucking indoctrinating women for sex slavery thing.
Okay.
But like, so I guess at their seminars, they like Rainier wanted to be called the Vanguard, and he called Saltzman the prefect, as in the first student.
Jesus Christ.
If you ever went to a seminar and like they're like, yes, my name is so and so, but please call me the Vanguard.
Mm-hmm.
That should be red flag number one.
Get
right
the
there.
fuck out. Go do something else. Because you're about to get it pulled into a sex cult, you know?
Yeah. But apparently they kind of operated with the same MOs that like Scientology has. Non-disclosure agreements, trade secrets shit. Like they kept everything super hush-hush, and they sued the shit out of people for copyright infringement.
Mm-hmm.
And like trying to like expose their secrets, right? But eventually it all came to a head because these women started coming forward, and people started coming out with exposés about them and how they were trafficking women and fucking doing all sorts of nasty shit.
Mm-hmm. Apparently this Rainier is a real piece of shit. They said back in 96 he was accused by the New York Attorney General for his company Consumer Byline of being a pyramid scheme, and he signed a consent order. But he denied all wrongdoing, but also paid $40,000 in fines to make it go away. He was also banned permanently from promoting, offering, or granting participation in a chain distribution scheme.
Yeah, apparently, when it came out in court, mind you, he was facing charges of forced labor, wire fraud conspiracy, human trafficking, sex trafficking. He was also hit with a additional charge of child pornography. And according to the prosecutors, he was also being accused of engaging in sex with a 15-year-old girl.
Fucking chomo.
Yeah. So all these people like are getting hit up on it. They're getting hit with trafficking charges and all this shit. And like apparently like there was this woman who I guess she was a Mexican woman named Daniela, and she's going to be tested. She hasn't testified yet. She's going to be testifying though.
Unless she kills herself.
And she was kept by Saltzman and more or less told like she was a slave.
Mm-hmm.
Like she kept her in her house for like, it was like fucking 3 or 4 years.
Jesus.
She kept her in her house and she did all the cleaning and shit. And like, if she didn't do what she was told to do or whatever, she would be like, I'm going to call ICE and get you deported. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
Oh man, it's just another reason why we should bring back the use of the hemp rope.
But apparently they were like taking these women that they would find in these seminars and stuff and indoctrinating them into their sex cult. And they would brand them with the NXI VM logo, and also like with the with Keith Rainier's initials.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And then there's the Allison Mack thing. Apparently she was roped up in it because she became a big member of it and started fucking recruiting women for them to find. And then they were using members of they were part of it to house these sex slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Now, part of the reason why I wanted to do this today was because there has been opened up connections between NXIVM and Hillary Clinton.
Oh, look at you.
Apparently, in both elections, they funneled shitloads of money. And the heir to Seagrams that I mentioned before actually wanted to curry favor with NXIVM, so she was putting shitloads of fucking money into the Clinton campaign.
I'm sure that had nothing to do. I mean, well, it's just another one of those things that points to them as being fucking weirdos and freaks, and creeps and rapists, murderers, you know?
Yeah.
Always got their hands in something dirty.
Dirty.
The Clintons.
Yeah, so basically, these motherfuckers were into all the dirty shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they were also, like, fucking greasy and, like, used lawyers to try to protect themselves for years. And people called them out as a cult, like, even early on. They're like, this shit seems like a cult. oh no, we're not a cult. I mean, it reminds me of the way they fucking talk about Scientology.
Mm-hmm.
Except this one actually got fucking hemmed up in it finally. Versus Scientology, which, props to them, they've been doing this shit since the 70s and haven't got caught up on it yet.
I'm going to read this article if that's cool with you.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is from Vice. I'm not a big fan of Vice, but here we are. It's titled, Why I Joined a Secret Society That Branded Me. Last month, a New York Times article shone light on abuses endured by a secret society of women, DOS, within a philosophical movement called NXIVM. The Times spoke to former society members who described coercive master/slave relationships and an initiation ceremony that branded the initials of NXIVM's leaders on their bodies. Since the story came out, former member Sarah Edmondson has been called stupid and blind for believing NXIVM's personal development programs and submitting to mutilation. New York authorities declined to pursue charges against NXIVM or leader Keith Rainier because the brandings were deemed consensual, and Rainier filed a mischief complaint against Edmondson in Vancouver, where she lives and works as an actress. In response, Edmondson recounts over 10 years of manipulation tactics she claims to have endured and made it nearly impossible for her to leave or question the abuses. I met with a director named Mark Vicente, who made a film called What the Bleep Do We Know? It's actually pretty decent.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It came out at a great time in my life when I was seeking a certain path and bettering myself. When I met him at a film festival, I told him that I loved his film, Just Gushing. He said if I liked the film, I might like a program he just took. He had taken a 16-day program with NXIVM a few months prior. I actually remember standing with him and talking about this really smart guy named Keith Rainier, who was a humanitarian and really changing the world. At the time, that appealed to me. The whole concept appealed to me. I ended up taking my first 5-day training just a few weeks later. I'd say for my first couple of days, I was very closed. Like my parents are therapists. What are you going to teach me? On day one, I came home and Googled the company, which I hadn't done before I signed up. I called Mark Vicente and I said, what did you get me into? He said, anyone can write anything about anyone online. Of course, just smear campaigns and stuff like that. So then she went on to trust him and ended up getting pulled into sex slavery and getting branded. You know? So.
And apparently they were using, like, they would do things and keep them, like they would keep evidence of them.
Kind of like Scientology.
To hold it against them if they tried to, like, come out.
Yeah.
That was the form of, like, control they were using.
So if they're like Scientology, does that mean Scientology is also a cult?
Oh, it's definitely a cult.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Pretty sure we talked about that in our cult episode.
Apparently, and I was looking up stuff and I saw this.
Mm-hmm.
Seitzman, however you want to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Germans would pronounce it Seitzman.
Seitzman.
Apparently, Seitzman had dossiers in her basement on individuals, like people of power in the New York State legislature and individuals like Chuck Schumer and stuff like that. Now, and it was kind of like, in case of emergency, use this.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard anything about those things being released. Something tells me those things probably got taken and thrown down the old memory hole.
Right.
Because they didn't want them finding out anything about their favorite individuals.
That's like that shit that happened with Anthony Weiner when he got caught being a child molester. Mm-hmm. They had that laptop that he was sending, Anthony Weiner sending dick pics. That's not weird, but he had this laptop with a supposed child pornography or whatever, and then when the police, I think it was New York Police Department, took it, they found all this shit about corruption with Huma Abedin, his wife, and Hillary Clinton. Mm-hmm. So then they just sat on that. Supposedly the FBI swooped in and got it. But it's like, what was on that laptop?
Yeah.
Because birds of a feather flock together, they say. And here we are again, pointing fingers at the Clintons, being involved with fuck shit.
Yeah.
When's it going to be their day,
Probably never.
Probably because QAnon's a psyop.
Yeah, definitely a psyop.
But whatever.
Because there ain't been shit done.
No.
You know what I mean? We're on the cusp of going to war with fucking, 3 countries right now. I can't fucking handle it.
Allegedly, man. I don't know. We'll see.
It feels like saber rattling again.
Yeah. They, there's some interesting shit, though. Like, all the... You see that thing I sent on the group chat about Intel and Qualcomm not making chips for Huawei devices?
Yeah.
Economic warfare is underway.
They've already started that.
A lot of these pundits are saying that it's not that hard to believe that an economic war could easily turn nuclear.
Yeah.
Nuclear.
It's just I have to start agreeing more. The clown world,
Yeah.
the clown universe, it just continues to get more absurd by the day.
It's madness.
You know what I mean? Like, you got like British politicians, they're having to like close down, they have to refuse people milkshakes in fucking the UK because people keep hurling them at fucking politicians. And like,
the assault milkshake.
Yeah. You got to ban those assault milkshakes, dog.
That's funny. You can't have guns or fucking butter knives or milkshakes.
Yeah, because you might hurt somebody with a milkshake.
That's a great argument for gun control, I think. It definitely doesn't stop with guns.
I mean, in a way, like, one of them that got hit was Nigel Farage, the guy who basically was in charge of the Brexit.
Yeah.
And
why did he get hit?
Because he's a conservative politician. He's a nationalist. But in the same thing with Sargon of Akkad. I can't remember his actual name, but he's running too, and he's been nailed with them. It's a liberal thing to hit people with milkshakes.
What a delicious non-traditional impact weapon.
Yeah, right. You know? I mean, I have to give him props because you know what? In either respect, fuck politicians.
Yeah.
Because like whether they're conservative or liberal, fuck them.
I like Nigel Farage's speeches about getting out of the European Union, though. Going back to a more, I mean, I fucking hate the government, period. But globalism is definitely worse than statism, even though they're both bad.
Exactly.
Hashtag lesser of two evils. I feel gross now.
Yeah, there you go.
You should, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you should.
Wallow in your self-hatred.
Yeah. Shouldn't we all just go north of the wall like Jon Snow?
That's what I'm saying, man.
Live with the free folk?
Smoke fucking marijuana cigarettes.
Who's the free folk at this point?
Probably the fucking crazies. The sovereign citizens.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I don't know. I just don't know.
It's a very unsure world.
Look at us, though, talking about wanting to be free and looking for people to lead us.
Yeah.
You know, why can't we just be monarchists in our heads and anarchists in our lives?
Yeah.
One ruler in your psyche and no rulers in your life.
Exactly. That'd be the best way to go about things.
It's hashtag Mark Pascal for you.
Yeah.
Ride his dick again one time.
One time. I think that about wraps it up for us, though.
Yeah, we did a little smattering of the sex cult known as NXIVM. We talked about Battle Bun's, tasty topic.
Conservation and whatnot.
Yeah. Face of Mars got brought in there because I'm fucking an autist.
Talked about the end of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything on this one, but I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. But we hope you enjoyed the show.
Yes.
If you're feeling froggy, why don't you go over down to our Patreon page? Join the nation.
We need your monies for our updates.
Yes. You could always go to our iTunes page and leave us a review, screenshot it, and then email it to us.
I will come to you in your sleep and give you butterfly kisses,
You can check us out on Instagram.
Instagram.com/Bones and Tubs. Our Patreon page that I glossed over with fucking craziness was patreon.com/Bones and Tubs.
You can also check us out on the Book of Faces.
Yes.
But
same name.
All right. We'd like to thank y'all for listening.
We're also on DLive.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I just got up on that the other day. We don't have any content on there, but I'm going to start putting it on there because fuck YouTube.
Fuck YouTube.
DLive. You can get the app or you can go to Google DLive, whatever the website is, and we are bones.tubs.podcast.
There you go. All right. We'd like to thank y'all for listening. We hope you had a good time. We hope to see you next week, and we hope you have a good week.
Check out I'm Starving Bitch on YouTube. I love you.
We really do.
Hey, for the next 2 minutes and 25 seconds, I need you to take in every single word I say. This is no government. Stacks. I prayed to God one time, but he didn't talk back. Took the words that I was praying and I put them in raps. Writing scriptures with these words that shit a biblical pack. That's man-made, like the Bible I was reading in class. They told me stories about the dude, they said that nigga was white. I did my research, found out that shit wasn't right. And now I'm searching for the truth along with meaning of life. Perpetuating on the darkness while I'm shedding the light. There's no government. Is this a reward or a punishment? Section 8 housing, who's funding it? Democratic nigga or Republican? That shit don't even matter, cause the winners never even really running it. How's the country functioning? TSA lines with a gun in it. I pray to touchdown, we ain't punting it. Make us choose sides, who you fucking with. Shit attract me, then we about to see who you really running with. It's that! Choose, you with the people or the evil, divided or the equal, beginning or the sequel, illegal or the legal, the truth or the deceitful, the war or the peaceful, with the calm or the lethal. All gas, this is diesel, I be spitting the truth. Manifested education from the time of my youth. Graduated from the basement, I was living the proof. Molested beats like a reverend when he stepped into school. The government, man-made and self-paid, land of the free, but the home to many slaves. Healthcare for free? Nah, nigga, we second grade. Then watch our people die when the bills go unpaid. It's concave, not in good hands, no all-state. Make us great again, that nigga threw that ball fake. Now the shit in shambles, what the fuck do they all say? Kick that nigga out, you been saying that all day. I heard the country at a raw spelled backwards. Maybe it's a lie and they pay for Google AdWords. Pick the word division, man, that's gotta be the password. Divided demographic deviated by our cash worth. They got the country face down, they gon' hit the ass first. No kind of beating up the country till her ass hurt. Maybe they should ask her, instead of trying to pass her, how to fix a problem and not kill the bitch faster. Listen, no government is soon to cause suffering. I wrote this rap to double up the coverage. This shit ain't McDonald's, you can't feed me all this bullshit then expect me to start screaming that I'm really fucking loving it. Cause if no one is governing while poverty is hovering, it's sure to cause a war within the country. I ain't stuttering, I'll give this shit a couple months before people get to shooting. I'll stay loaded like a downloaded movie, stay buffering. There's no government. No government. There's no government.
All right. You're free to go.
There's no government. No government.